All right, everyone. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. I hope your holidays have been great, and I know some of you might still be on extended holidays, and I hope that is still going well for you. Today, I'm going to get back into my routine. It's time to get down into some more new and fresh content, and I'm going to start with the Project Justice League reaction. We're going to be watching the new video they just dropped, I believe, on Christmas. Now, if you do not know what Project Justice League is, it is a screenplay and animation fan-based film that goes off of the actual information we have from Zack Snyder's future Justice League movies and what they were supposed to look like, given what was written in the storyboards. It is a great way to give us fans of Zack Snyder's work the opportunity to peer into the lens of what could have been. This is the ultimate cut. It's 43 minutes. It's part 1 and 2 combined into one video. I'm not gonna watch the first part. I'm jumping right into the second part. Once again, links in the description below if you want to watch the first part or my reaction to it. And if you have seen part 1, I'm gonna start right at the 5-year later mark where the first one ended. All right, let's do this. I am looking forward to it.
Smoldering solar pits, Gothic spires rising from the desert. Once, this was Gotham. Now, like the rest of Earth, it belongs to Darkseid. Coming over the dune, post-apocalyptic Batman, as seen in BVS, with a ragtag army of rebels. The surviving members of the Justice League walk over the rise of a dune to see the dilapidated Wayne Manor. Batman leads them. Flash drags what's left of Cyborg behind him. Bruce looks up to the sky, grimly.
He's just got one tiny arm.
He's coming.
We open by introducing Green Lantern to the Justice League film universe. He's
Oh,
inside
finally.
his ship crashing to Earth, desperately trying to make contact with someone. But there's no response, only static.
Mayday, mayday, mayday. My ship's been compromised and I'm losing altitude fast. Can anyone read me? Anyone? Come in. John, can you read me?
Oh,
John, please.
cool.
Please tell me you're here.
The ship crashes hard. Disoriented, Lantern hears someone outside, opening the door. A silhouette figure peers in. It's Batman. Opening on
Oh, so this is in...
Earth, scene
Oh, wow, yeah.
Parademons convey onto the ship.
This is in the
Batman
apocalypse
defending
world.
Then an unexpected ally assists Batman. Deadshot, firing at the Parademons. In this post-Darkseid world, Deadshot is teamed up with the Dark Knight. Then they're joined by the Flash. Batman barks at Flash to stay out of the fight.
Stay out of this fight, Barry.
Barry's too important to the mission to risk getting hurt. Flash saves Batman, cocky, but is soon overwhelmed by Parademons. Flash is almost killed, but Lantern saves him, the iconic friendship between the two beginning. Lantern looks across the Earth, analyzing it with his ring. He explains to them who he is, and who the Green Lantern Corps is, or was.
My name is Hal Jordan, of the Lantern Corps. We are tasked with maintaining peace, order, and justice throughout the universe. I
Not
came
good
here
enough.
to find my partner, John Stewart, of Earth, who's missing. To be honest, might be dead.
Okay, two things here. Whoever's voicing Hal Jordan Green Lantern, fantastic choice. You sound just like him. I'm loving it. And number 2, he's looking for John Stewart's Green Lantern, who he seems to think has been stationed on Earth. As we all know, at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League, it was supposed to be John Stewart's Green Lantern who shows up. Instead, it ended up being Martian Manhunter. This goes to show to me that even though that's not the way the movie ended, John Stewart's Green Lantern is on Earth. during that time, they must still have gone with that story, even though he doesn't show up at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League, which is really interesting. I wonder where Hal Jordan has been this whole time and what sector he was supposed to be protecting.
Like most of the Lanterns, Darkseid and his armies are paving their way through our entire universe.
In the sky, the Big Dipper constellation is missing 2 stars. Batman says that
all the stars will go out because of what is happening on Earth.
And Blackest Night.
Batman, Deadshot, Flash, and Lantern return to the League's hidden base camp under Wayne Manor. Mira
I like Flash's
walking
mask.
to the camp across the desert, with Arthur's trident slung across her shoulders, carrying 2 buckets of water. Mira remarks,
I had to venture further outside of camp to locate drinkable water.
Bruce explains his operation to Lantern.
We're planning an operation that will end Darkseid's reign on Earth.
You don't stand a chance against Darkseid and his army. Let me repair my ship and find the surviving members of the Corps. Then maybe we might have a fighting chance.
Lantern wonders,
What could this team do to stop Darkseid?
Oh, that was quick.
revealed post-Darkseid cyborg, now half a man, able to plug into machinery, hanging in the Batcave, working on massive technology, a cosmic treadmill that will help the Flash jump back in time, Lantern asks.
How exactly is this gonna work?
Cyborg tells Lantern the specifics of how time travel works.
It's very uncontrollable. And even if we can get Flash to travel back, they can only try this once a year, so that the Earth will be in the very same spot and the Flash doesn't jump into solid bedrock.
Flash shrugs.
Or space.
In order to operate it, they need to steal a mother box from Darkseid's army, and they know where one is. But once they power this machine up, they'll get his attention. Lantern asks,
Wait, whose attention are we gonna get?
Come on,
Mira
you know, buddy.
answers,
You know.
Darkseid controlled Superman.
Even Lantern has heard of the Kryptonian, worried that he's under the control of Darkseid. He heard his spirit was unbreakable. Deadshot goes on.
Across the world, beyond parademons, nearly the entire population has fallen to the anti-life equation. Their minds being completely controlled by Darkseid.
One thing I gotta say, and I don't hate it at all, I just find it kind of funny. In a world of insanely powerful beings, it always seems to be a huge majority of regularized humans coming out alive. That doesn't bother me. I've always had this fascination of the resiliency of mankind, how we can be put into a deadly situation like this, and somehow with our instincts we always come out surviving. But it's just funny how like a Batman or a Deadshot, a Deathstroke, we are surviving over a Wonder Woman or an Aquaman. But then you could argue, knowing their power level, Darkseid wouldn't underestimate people like them. He would want to remove them quicker, viewing the human threats as nothing to him. He wouldn't really care. So that's potentially a big reason. I just find it interesting, though, that we as humans always find a way to live.
Deadshot says he remembers when his daughter was taken. It haunts him worse than death. They need to move soon. The planet alignment is tomorrow night, where Earth will be in the same place it was when Bruce first saw Flash in the Batcave. If they don't jump then, they won't have another opportunity for an entire year.
The plan is that Barry will warn Batman so that they can be prepared. But the Flash will only have 10 to 15 seconds before he's taken apart. So what can he say in that amount of time to Bruce?
They all agree it's simple.
You have to stop Lex. If Lex is stopped, Darkseid will never come here, and Lex will never slaughter the Justice League.
Afterwards, Bruce pulls Barry aside. Bruce tells him that it won't work. He was trying to stop Lex already. Flash has to say something else. Bruce says that this is his fault. In a rare moment of vulnerability, Bruce admits.
She was Superman's world. I believe I broke that connection.
Bruce whispers in Barry's ear, and Flash's eyes go wide. Flash can't help but say,
"No way."
Bruce responds,
Tell me that it'll change everything.
the mission
Oh,
starts.
just jumping right into it. All right, let's go.
The Fury Road inspired Batmobile, the Justice League, Batman, Green Lantern, Deadshot, and Mira break into the Stronghold, a cathedral swarming with anti-life controlled people, Darkseid soldiers. Human priests kneel at the Mother Box. Batman says,
As soon as they get to the Mother Box, Superman will be aware of them.
back at the Batcave, Cyborg and the Flash are preparing for Flash's jump. Cyborg makes it clear that the Flash won't have much time. He needs to deliver the message before he crumbles into nothingness. But if Barry succeeds, it won't matter. None of this will have ever happened. Batman and the others steal the Mother Box and make a dead run back to the cave as the Flash and Cyborg prepare for Barry's jump. Superman is in pursuit. Superman arrives and faces off against the Justice League. From a tower, Deadshot fires a kryptonite bullet at Superman's back.
Oh, no way.
Superman dodges it. Batman asks Deadshot over his comm.
Deadshot, what's happening?
Deadshot tells Batman.
This better work. This had better save my daughter.
Superman flies through the tower, killing Deadshot.
Oh my god, already?
He's here.
Mira tries to remove the water from Superman. He crushes her. Green Lantern fires his ring at Superman. But he sends his corrupted heat vision into the ring until the ring explodes, taking Lantern's arm with it.
Brutal. Evil Superman, guys. There's no chance. You're not gonna beat him.
Cyborg does what he can against Superman as Flash prepares to jump. Just after Cyborg activates the machine, Superman tosses him to the parademons.
Run, Barry! Run!
They tear him apart. Then finally, it's Batman facing off against Superman. The Flash
course
runs
it is.
hard in the machine,
Let's go, buddy.
seconds away from the jump. Batman is armed with the kryptonite spear, but Superman impales Batman with it.
Bruce!
As these two heroes struggle, the Flash races as fast as he can,
Run, Barry, you have to run faster, Barry, faster!
exploding through time just before Superman reaches him. The Flash races back in time. Then we're with Bruce and Lois as they first argue in jail 2. Lois storms out of the Batcave when the Flash arrives, landing in the JO2 moment. He tells Bruce what we didn't hear before, what Bruce whispered in Flash's ear.
Lois likes you, Bruce. You're the father.
After delivering his message, the Flash vanishes from existence.
You have to save her!
Lois comes down, trying to reconnect with Bruce, who is still reeling from the information. Again, Lois is insisting he listens to her. This time, he does. She tells him Lex has a plan to take out the Justice League. Working together, they discover his attack plans against the League. Suddenly,
Quick pause here. One thing I do not like about this whole story, and it's not a deal breaker for me, it's just something I would absolutely change. I don't like the fact that Lois and Bruce had a relationship together. I don't like it. I don't think it suits well. As if Henry Cavill's Superman hasn't gone through enough in these movies. I think the last thing he needs to go through is the fact that his new best friend in Bruce Wayne Batman is getting the love of his life pregnant. I just don't really like it. But on the bright side, I absolutely love the Nightmare World. I would even just simply love if we could get a live action film on HBO Max of just the Nightmare World itself. It is so epic and so much fun. It hurts we won't get it, but anyways, let's finish this. Let's do it.
Darkseid's boom tube opens, water pouring into the cave again. Darkseid looks at Lois, Bruce looking down from above behind the glass again. But this time, Bruce goes into action, smashing through the glass, throwing himself in front of Darkseid's Omega beams as he moves Lois out of the way. He's struck by them, crying out, but he survives. Superman arrives in time to see Batman injured. He flies into a rage, but instead of being broken, he's empowered, angry.
You think you can attack my friends? What you've given me is a rare opportunity to show you just how powerful I really am.
Superman puts Darkseid on his heels, and Darkseid is forced to retreat. Lois tells Superman Lex has a plan.
You have to warn the others.
With information from Lois on Lex's Injustice League, Superman saves the League, stopping Maru from releasing the gas on Themyscira, Orm and Black Manta from killing Aquaman, and Len from taking out Cyborg. Meanwhile, Bruce reveals to Lois that although he is alive, he was hit. There's a darkness growing across his body. He's in pain, but they need to keep fighting. He tells Lois as he boards the Batplane.
I could have had a life outside of the cave with you.
Bruce.
No.
Bruce leaves across the world.
No, don't like it. Nah. Alright, yeah, we get it. You're crying. How much longer is she gonna cry? What? Okay, okay. I was gonna say, where are we going here? Sorry, another pause here. I hate it. I don't like Lewis. There's their celebrity couple name, Lewis. Lois and Bruce. I don't like it together. It doesn't fit for me. When we watch Batman vs. Superman and Justice League, and even the very brief Easter egg of Bruce Wayne in the first Wonder Woman film, you feel like Bruce and Diana have much more of a connected relationship with one another than anybody. With Lois, it's never seen, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Even in Zack Snyder's Justice League, you do not see a romantic connection between the two. To randomly get a connection between the two of them in Justice League 2 is so out of place, and I just don't think it works.
Veil means hope. That's what you can bring them. You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards.
It's all some people have. It's all that gives them hope. This means something.
Oh, back in his red and blue.
They will stumble. They will fall. They will join you in the sun, Cal. You will help them accomplish wonders.
Here we go.
Darkseid's full-scale invasion begins, and it's too much for the Justice League to handle on their own, but they won't have to. Led and inspired by Superman, the countries of the world come together. Armies,
Yeah,
Air Force,
I remember reading this
Wonder Woman and her
originally.
lead the Amazons off Themyscira to join the war. In the oceans, Aquaman pleads to the Seven Kingdoms, declaring,
"There is an eighth kingdom, the surface world. We must be allies, not enemies."
the Seven Kingdoms rise to join the Amazons and the surface. The entire world becomes a Justice League.
Lord of the Rings like finale.
In a Lord of the Rings like finale, the history of the three armies that first battled Darkseid echoes itself today. The world of men, the Amazons, and the Atlanteans. As the battle continues,
Oh, there he is.
Green Lantern
John.
joins the fight
Hey.
along with the alien Green Lantern Corps. It's the entire
Blue
DC
Beetle?
universe together for the very first time. On a scale unlike any that's ever been seen, battling to save the world together. During the battle, Hippolyta dies, saving her daughter, proud of what she's done.
My daughter.
No!
I am so proud of what you have become.
No! Father, stay with me.
A queen.
Task Force X, you are clear to attack.
A perfect day for bashing brains.
The Flash is able to move so quickly, he masters his powers, existing in two places at once. Unstoppable, he takes out an entire army himself. Cyborg is able to overpower the Mother Boxes, taking control of them and triggering a chain reaction that destroys them, weakening Darkseid.
I just gotta say though, the Omega Beams evaporates anything it touches, especially humans. We just turn into dust if we get hit by it. You gotta love how Batman, a human, is nearly unfazed. He's in pain and he knows he's dying, but he's like the only human that could get hit by an Omega Beam and be like, yeah, walk it off. Let's just finish the mission. Basically like Justice League War from New 52. Not a big fan of that story, but the scenery would be amazing.
And now God bends to my will.
Oh, wow. So he's gonna die.
It's ultimately a dying Batman who sacrifices himself to save the League and the world, destroying Darkseid.
I knew Batman was gonna die at the end of the story. I feel like Snyder was planning that even since Batman vs. Superman, to be honest with you.
In the aftermath, Superman, with Lois's help, the back-from-the-dead Superman will learn to become Clark Kent again, feeling more human than ever as he and Lois start a family. Lois mourns Bruce's death. Superman looks closer, realizing that Lois is carrying Bruce's child. Lois admits it, but he already knows. Maybe he always did, he says. He saw what he needed to, but he doesn't shy away. Instead, he embraces Lois. Diana becomes the new queen of the Amazons, leading them to rejoin the outside world and restore and inspire peace. With the Amazons at her side, Diana negotiates peace between the countries of the world, unlike anything in history. Arthur is recognized by the kingdoms as a true king that has helped unite the world. The skepticism over his human heritage not only gone, but replaced with admiration.
His story was kind of forgotten
Flash
amongst
will
the
free
others.
himself from the past,
As
releasing his father from prison with Cyborg's help.
Oh, okay, that's
and
cool.
learning how to master his time-traveling abilities, literally becoming able to be in two places at once. Cyborg evolves, becoming a god of the digital age, and able to transform himself to look human again.
Nice. I remember reading that in the
And Batman
storyboards.
will ultimately sacrifice his life for these unlikely friends and the woman he loves, leaving behind a legacy that will never truly die.
Yeah, I feel like Aquaman's story was just pretty much forgotten in these movies. I mean, the later films, because I think this would have been split into Justice League 2 and 3. Is there the 20 years later part? I did read that as well. Yeah, 20 years later.
After a memorial commemorating the Batman's sacrifice, Commissioner Barbara Gordon asks Lois.
Oh, cool.
What are you going to tell him?
Referring to telling Lois's son the truth about his father.
The truth.
For the first time in decades, crime is returning to Gotham, and it needs the Batman again. Various jail members like Martian Manhunter present.
20 years is a long time, so 20 years without Batman?
Lois
I don't know how I would function.
To the Batcave and reveals the truth. That his father was Bruce Wayne, Batman. In Gotham, rising from the shadows and out into the moonlight, we meet an all-new Batman.
So Bruce Wayne's son, but raised by Clark Kent. It's cool. Makes sense. I understand it. I just don't like how it got to this point. But regardless, I like the idea. Round of applause. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Okay, ultimately, I love it. I think it would have been a lot of fun to watch this in the theaters, or just in general to see Zack Snyder's vision come to life. I don't want to keep talking about how much I dislike it, but it is true. I don't like the Lois and Bruce storyline. I understand the idea of what they're going for. This idea that Superman or Clark Kent within his humanity can see past the fact that that is not his biological son, because at the end of the day, who did that for him? His mother and father, Jonathan and Martha, who aren't even his biological parents. Two humans were capable of taking him as a baby, knowing he was not from this world, raising him and loving him as any human should. And then he takes that over into Lois's son with Bruce, knowing it's not his kid, but he will still treat that kid and love him and raise him the way that child should be loved and raised. I understand it. It shows that Superman is more human than ever. I just don't think it needed to take that story to get Superman to that point. I think there are tons of other ways they could have done that. It is what it is. The thing about this is that these are, of course, just storyboards, and there's nothing guaranteed. We have no guarantee that Zack Snyder would have stuck with a lot of these ideas. He might have changed things as he was going. And let's be honest here, they weren't even close to filming Justice League 2 yet. He could have changed a lot of story threads and plots. And I'm sure, let's just hypothetically say Warner Brothers said, hey, Zack, we want you to make your final films. If he had the chance to make these movies movies today, I can guarantee you there are a lot of things he would change because he's got new and possibly even better ideas. I love Zack Snyder's work in DC. I understand he's a 50-50 complex type of dude. You're either gonna really love him, you're gonna hate him. I love Man of Steel. I love Batman vs Superman. I love Zack Snyder's Justice League. I could guarantee you I would probably have really enjoyed these movies. Even though I love what he's done, I will say I think Zack Snyder's DC films work a lot better as an Elseworlds. It works fantastic as its own solidified universe told by the vision of Zack Snyder, but in a DC connectivity, that's probably not how you want to start it and where you want to go with it. And a couple years ago, I feel like there could have been a way where Warner Brothers could have done a DCU while letting Zack Snyder finish his DCEU. Of course, that's not gonna happen now, but I would have loved to see this story finish. And with that being said, though, we do have to thank 4Nerds Network for putting in the time and the effort to bring this to us on YouTube, this opportunity to view what Zack Snyder could have potentially done, because we will never get it through film. And one has to wonder if you would even get it through an animated project from DC, a comic book, a novel, whatever it might be. It's probably never going to happen in all forms of media. So thank you to the 4Nerds Network for doing something like this, so we have something to relate to Zack Snyder and we actually get to see his bigger picture. But anyways, everyone, let me know in the comments below what you thought of this. Let me know what you thought of the final vision of Zack Snyder, where he wanted to take this in the final Justice League films. And once again, go show some love and support to 4Nerds Network. Subscribe to their channel, watch their videos, watch part 1 of this if you haven't seen it yet. But that's all I got for you on this one, guys. And until next time, I will talk to you all very soon.